Welcome to today's presentation. So last time we were talking about giants on Earth and a lot of petrified giants we saw, right? So this presentation extends on top of that. Okay, so on the left hand side you see a picture. Do you see a eye in this picture? This is not artwork. This is actually you can find it on Google Earth. We will see that. Great wisdom is born when the thirst for truth far outweighs the fear of offending people. So there has been a lot of negative comments on the flat Earth presentation as well as giants because many people those concepts are way out of their manufactured realities. So I would encourage you to be more courageous and explore these topics. Okay, so I am going to assume that you have watched these presentations, Petrified Giants, The Rocks Were Alive. This was the last presentation, and before that, Scams You Believe In. This world is not what you think it is. So, if you have watched these two already, then this presentation will make much more sense for you. All right, so a couple of assumptions I'm making is that you already are familiar with these truths. Giants of all shapes and sizes lived throughout our history alongside humans, and for all I know, they may still be alive somewhere. We live on a flat and motionless plane, not on a spinning ball earth. Theory of evolution is false. We were created by somebody, just that we don't know. The real history has been hidden from us. We don't have any reliable method of fossil dating. There is no carbon dating method or any other dating method which is reliable. It is not even, forget reliability, it doesn't work. Um, so, from what I have seen so far, it is my guess that our Earth's life may be just a few thousand years at the most, not more than that. Definitely, there were no dinosaurs, as pseudoscience says. And there was a magnificent worldwide civilization, very advanced one, that existed just 200 years ago, after which some kind of reset happened, and then we have devolved from that one. So there are so many incredible buildings, artworks, technology that we see in today's world, which are termed as antiques. You can see the magnificence and advanced nature of these things. All right, so we are going to see uh, about much larger giants, and or some people call them as titans. So last time we saw a lot of evidence for petrified giants, and they were pretty big, right? Some are like 12 feet, 30, 20 feet, 30 feet, some are 100 feet, and even some are maybe thousands of feet because entire mountain range may be a giant. Okay, so it is not just human beings like creatures, but there are many animals as well. So the questions we are exploring today is that are there any much larger beings like a few kilometers big, right? Are these beings actually existed or not? So are there any evidences for that? What about hundreds of 100 kilometers, right? That is really big, right? 100 kilometers. And what about a few thousand kilometers? So the mind fails to imagine these kind of sizes when we talk about living beings, right? But we are going to see some evidence that the answer to all the above may be yes, there were beings of these sizes. So again, before you talk about pareidolia, I understand what it means. Last time also I showed several examples of pareidolia. So it is an issue, but the things which I'm going to show you today, it is very unlikely that they fall into that pareidolia category. All right, so here is the example we saw last time as well. So what you see here is flesh. This is bacon, I think, and this is a stone. is a fully petrified stone. You can see the same pattern. In fact, this is petrified flush. Okay, I'm not going to repeat the same thing, but flush can petrify very fast, and huge rocks and boulders are actually flush. So if you extend the size of it, this is in Grand Canyon, right? These are actually, it is very well be muscle fibers, just petrified muscle fibers, right? And here is a small hill in Madagascar. Here you can see there are two colors, right? One is the outer color, which is grayish, and there is an inner color which is more brownish. You can see similar kind of schemes in many places. So it's very likely that the outer thing was a skin and inner material may be flesh. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And if you look at the Grand Canyon structure, you can see that this is very likely to be some kind of flesh. Okay, muscle fibers or just a tissue. It may be that. And also, do you see that it is absolutely flat over here? See, this flatness is extremely flat, and even if you see, this is extremely flat. Unless somebody cut this like this, it is impossible to be shaped like this by so-called natural processes. Okay, so at the end of this presentation, you may come to realize that this word natural process may not be there at all. Everything in our world was created and shaped by living things. And here is another interesting photograph, right? There are completely two different materials. Here is a zoom in. So these are two different materials and colors and textures. You can see that this one looks like a elephant skin, and even the thickness and other things, there are two layers of it. So, and this is a completely different material. It's very likely to be limestone based substance, right? So how can this something like this naturally form? And you can see here the bits and pieces are over here. What is this and what is this? So in natural geology, there is really no explanation, right? Somebody may mumble, yeah, this is again erosion. No, there is nothing to do with it. This is something specifically is the result of biological activities, and this is biological matter petrified. Okay, so this may very well be kneecap, right? And this may be just a flush. I have no idea how it ended up like this in this position, but definitely these are all biology. And what do you think this one is? This one is very, very likely to be a skin. Okay. Okay, so let's see some unexplained balls. So these kind of balls are there all over the world. So some are there in seashore, which people explain that there were some giant tortoises who lived earlier in some millions of years ago, and then these are all its eggs. So that's the one explanation the mainstream science gives you. But then issue is that these balls are found in many places. So even in Costa Rica, these balls are there. They are perfectly spherical, right? It's very nice to look at. There are many places like this, and this one is California, right? Borrego State Park. So you can see similar round spherical balls. So really, there has been no explanation for these balls. They are found all over the world, right? And here the same. I mean, here this is the California place. You can see much better photograph. You can see the sizes. Pretty big round boulders all over the place. And if you break them, it looks like this. So this is from Kazakhstan. Just to give you an idea that they are found all over the place. You can see that these balls are from Kazakhstan. So when you cut it open, there is something inside like this. Okay, so my guess is that this is probably a seed from a giant tree. So last time also we looked at some of that, right? There were giant trees which might have grown over 100 kilometers tall or around that, right? Extremely big trees. All right, and here are some more balls, and contrary to the previous balls, these contain a large amount of iron, heme iron, right? The same kind of iron compounds which are found in blood. And I'm not sure whether they have done DNA testing on this. Very likely they have done, but it's very difficult to find these research reports. So this one is from China, okay, Beigong pipes and stones, and this one is from Navajo sandstone, Arizona, and the composition is the same. It's very likely blood. So you can imagine if this is the coagulated blood or something very similar substance that has come out of a living thing, you can imagine the size of the living thing. It's going to be extremely massive. So what are these balls? They are likely seeds from the giant tree or results of coagulating blood. We don't know. But the beings, the tree or human, it has to be gigantic, several kilometers tall. So this is all the information that we have. We do not have much of any mainstream narrative on this. So those balls provide some clues for the size of the beings, right? And let's look at hair, because all human beings and many animals they have hair, and it's very common. So here is electron microscope image of hair. So this is how it is, how it looks. The surface is not smooth. Okay, so there are variations, and the base looks like something like this, very rough. Okay, so now let us look at a color picture of it. Yeah, same. You can see this is hair. If you have a what do you say, microscope, I mean not so good, but you can see a lot of this. And here is a geographical feature. I don't know the location, but this photograph is there. You can see these are all very likely to be hair. You see that this is broken. I have a digital microscope. It shows my own hair after I shave, right? So if I see the hair, it looks very similar to that. The breakage is very similar, right? It sometimes breaks like this, half cut and then taken off, even like this also. So this is all very likely to be hair structures. So let's say, and here is a classic example, right? These are all called polystrate fossils. Okay, so for many decades, the mainstream scientists have been saying that it requires millions of years for these layers of mud to form, and then these were found. Okay, so I'm sure they have been found always, but they did not come to the mainstream, but it came to mainstream after a long time. And then they finally have to agree that it is very stupid to say that it took millions of years for all of this to form, because if this is a tree, then it would have taken a very long time for all of this to grow, but by the time the tree would have been eroded away. But this thing is perfectly in shape, and this is the hair I'm talking about. And these are found everywhere. Okay, so the coal mines, wherever they dig up earth, they find these kind of structures. And here is a comment from Derek Yeager, right? If one estimates the total thickness of the British coal measures as about 1,000 meters laid down in about 10 million years, then assuming a constant rate of sedimentation, it would have taken 100,000 years to bury a tree 10 meters high, which is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. So the point is the whole layers would have formed very rapidly, and this got buried. And here is another one, pretty big one, right? Here is yet another one. You can see in this one there is some kind of root. Many of these things have this kind of a root. Okay, And there are here one more. There are quite a few. They are all exactly the same structure. Okay, so they have this same kind of lines and breaking, what do you say, weaknesses, same as your regular hair. And this is your regular hair, right? So you can see you can see how this one looks, this one, and you can, there are some blood vessels coming in. So these are all the kind of roots that we saw. And here is the base. So this is also very commonly found everywhere, wherever you dig up, right? So you can see 1, 2, 3, there are many in this landscape. These are all the bases of those hair structures. You can imagine the size of that hair and what kind of size we are talking about over here, massive. And here is this one, the Crawley Lake stone columns. Okay, so the same rubbish explanation created by eons of old volcanic activity, it seems. No, this is all hair. Okay, so they have done DNA sampling on this one, and this is all hair. And very similar to hair, there are other structures on the skin, right? So let's see one more structure which is unmistakable. You cannot mistake that. So these are called these are corkscrews. You can see it is there in the mud, and this is from Niobrara River Valley in western Nebraska. And here is some more sample. I could not find the location of this, but they have kept it over here. And here is old ones. You can go to this Facebook and check it out. And these corkscrews are also there in many places. And here is one more. This guy is digging up. And here is 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are here in this photograph. Right? And maybe more will be there in the same location. So these are made by with a quartz crystal. What we find inside are quartz crystal. The same material stones are made. The same material which forms when flesh becomes petrified. Okay, so everybody agrees that these are biological material. Okay, that is a common consensus even in mainstream scientists. And unfortunately, they again do not acknowledge what is staring them in the eye. Instead, they go and invent all kind of theories. They say there were giant gophers who actually dug up some kind of holes in the ground in this shape. Okay, so right now there are no giant gophers, and there is no proof of those giant gophers as well. But they cook up that such a theory. Then again, they say there are giant plants. Now the plant is extinct, but the root of that plant looks like this. Okay, so this is the kind of explanation we see from the mainstream scientists, the so-called scientists. Unfortunately, these are all unverifiable, right? If I am a very credible scientist and I come and tell you that there were giant gophers who dug up holes like this, or there were giant plants, now they are extinct, their roots are like this, then you would believe me. But when a common sense guy comes and says, well, this looks like a sweat glands from a giant skin, we laugh at him, right? But the truth may be with the latter, not with the former. So if you look at our sweat glands, right, this is how it looks like. Okay, so this exactly is a spiral. This is under our skin. You can see them in the microscope, and this is another picture, the same kind of structure, right? And that is exactly what these are. Okay, these are all very likely to be sweat glands from very giant beings. So this is how the human sweat glands looks like. But we cannot make the same assumption that it will look exactly the same in giant beings as well. There may be some variation. So, but these definitely fits the bill in terms of sweat gland explanations. Okay, so how big were they, right? We saw some of the incredible stuff. If sweat glands and hair and blood coagulations were so big, then how big were these beings, right? They must be hundreds of kilometers tall or hundreds of kilometers across, depending on, I don't know what kind of beings they were. And if they are so big, then they have to form some kind of geological feature. There may be mountains or some kind of features which we should be able to identify by looking at the geological features. And they have to be visible on a thing like Google Maps or Google Earth, right? So that is what you are going to look at today. And yes, we find them there in Google Earth, and not only in some places. In fact, they are all over the place. Okay, so before we move forward, I would like to say that these are all patterns. Okay, so it is not formally researched and qualified by what do you say, intelligent people. Because nobody even give this kind of theories second thought. It is unacknowledged. And then pareidolia is also a big hurdle, because the moment we saw a certain pattern, we tend to assume that this is a human face. So we need to fight against that and see if there are any other correlations, any other features which confirm that, okay, this may be a human face, right? So, and also the color of the land and variations in the height of the landscape, this can help us to overcome that pareidolia. Unfortunately, whenever a giant being dies down and then it gets petrified, there is a lot of other things that blow over them. You have snow, you have sand, mud, all kind of things, right? So these weather phenomena pose challenges. We have to identify them through these. And also we have to make sure that the patterns are reasonably stable over time. Fortunately, Google Earth presents long period of data on these maps, so that is a good thing. And naturally, some of the interpretations may be wrong. Okay, so I may say something as it looks like a horse, but in reality it may be very well like a lizard. So the interpretation may be wrong, but the thing is that there are unusual patterns which are inexplicable in the normal course of geology. It is undeniable. These patterns are very much there. Okay, so again, there is no proper geological explanation exists for these patterns except volcano. Okay, that is the magic word. So they say volcanic activity, weather erosion, and water erosion. So these are all magical terms, right? Everything gets explained under these. Okay, so when I heard about these giant beings, which you can see on Google Earth, I said, okay, I will find them myself, right? So I actually started out with Nandi Hills. So let me go to Google Earth, right? And then we'll go here. So this is the first place I looked at, because we used to go there for paragliding, and I always felt that place is kind of strange. There are two hills over here, and we used to fly from both hills. But I could not find much, anything very different or anything like a petrified giant over here. So I was just looking around, and then this hit me. Okay, this is quite cool. See, let me remove this. If you zoom in, this is exactly like a bug. Right, do you see that? I hope this data is, yeah. You can see that this is the head portion, and this is the lower body portion, and there is one leg over there and another leg below this. I hope this data is getting messed up. Yeah, this, I think we got some nice picture. So this leg is like this. Okay, so let me see, I have a screenshot of that. See, this is how this thing looks like. It's exactly like a scarab beetle. It's really uncanny. So this is what got me triggered on this. is really cool stuff, right? You find that such a big geological feature, it is exactly like a scarab beetle. And I was looking for it and nobody has found it. So I was very happy that, okay, I myself have found a pattern. So if you look at the size of this thing, we are talking about 4 kilometers across. Imagine a scarab beetle which is like 4 kilometers big. That will be quite a sight to behold if it walks on earth today. So this is again unmistakable, right? The surrounding area are in very different colors. Of course, there is a lot of civilization that has crept in, but the overall shape and size is still undisturbed. There is natural formation. The city and housing has not come into seeped into all of this, right? And you can see the greenery is inside and greenery is not outside because this material has more organic content in it. So that was cool. So this I found this one, and then I started looking around. If this scarab beetle is there, there must be some other beings also, right? And then there you go. That right next to it is a kind of a trilobite. I don't know what you call this, but you see on both sides there are patterns like this, right? It looks very much like a trilobite, and you can see that in the middle there is a long thin place. That is how the trilobites actually look like. Okay, so let me see if I have the trilobite is about 64 kilometers long. Okay, so this is the entire Bangalore city. Okay, so this is where I live, and you can see that the trilobite is much larger than the Bangalore city itself. So that is like very big one, 64 kilometers across. So that was pretty cool. Then then I started looking around, and right above that I found this fish. Okay, so let me do this one. You can see this is a fish. Okay, so this is the tail of the fish and this is the body of the fish, and whatever came out of this fish's mouth, right, it has formed these forest areas over here. Hope you are able to see this pattern, right? It's quite good, easy to detect, and also very unmistakable. The surrounding area are somewhat flat, so this pattern is unmistakable, right? You have this head part, the body part, and the tail. Of course, these are all somewhat mangled. You will. It's very difficult to find a perfect petrified giant body, and this is one of the better ones. They are pretty cool, really good ones. And then I found another bug next to that. Okay, so this near Mysore. So similar to that bug, but it's a different color. You can see the head. This is not scarab beetle. It is some other kind of beetle, and this is the body of the beetle. And leg on both sides, they are all kind of mashed up. Okay, again, it is different from the surroundings somewhat. And then here there are more bugs. There are two bugs actually. So you can see that this is one bug over here. I'm not sure. This is the head. Okay, this is the head portion, and this is the rest of the bug. And here also another bug. You can see this is the head portion, and this is the rest of the body. You can see. Okay, this is the fish we saw. Two bugs we saw. This is again 117 kilometers long. This one. So here's the second fish, right? That is again really a nice structure, easy to identify. See, this is again a big fish. Okay, so this seems to be the head part of the fish and a long body, and this is tail, and you can see the tail is broken in many places. So this fish actually formed the end of this landmass. And then you can see the water on this side, and this is the head portion of it. This is very likely to be its eye. I'm not sure. It's badly mangled. Again, wherever you find these kind of giant petrification, you will always find some kind of liquid or substance oozing out of their body. So you can see these, right? They are, you can always find these. So this is a good mark that it is coming out of some big giant body. You can see these markings. So this is one of the, you can see the flow, right? This is all the flow of substance coming out of this body. And you can see this is whatever coming out of its mouth. That is what is over here. So this is pretty cool. So anyway, I will post the locations for all of these. I'll post a Google Earth file, which if you open, you will find, it will open up all the links on the site. So you can explore all of this. So here is another one. This is also a fairly straightforward pattern. It looks like a dog or a leopard. This is not my discovery. Somebody else posted this, and I found it to be pretty cool. You can see that this is a front leg, and then this is a back leg, and whatever was in the hind part is all mashed up, and this is your face. This is somewhat in the face area, again mashed up. This may be the jaw, and this may be the open mouth or something. And I'm not sure where the eye is. Maybe this is the eye. I'm not really sure where the eye is, but the body looks very much like a dog or a leopard kind of thing. So you can clearly see the distinction between this part and the surrounding green vegetation. So that is one of the ways you can find out. Okay, so now let's see. There is a goat, which is also an easy pattern. You see, this is some kind of a goat-like creature. I don't know what it is, but you can see that there is a head over here, and then I think these legs are all messed up. It's difficult to identify, but you can see the overall body structure. It is still intact. So if you move over time, see, the pattern has become stronger now. I was looking at older pattern because as time progresses, people come and build towns and cities. So the pattern gets lost. But in this particular case, the pattern got stronger because people may not be coming to this area. And again, this is a big one. If you just from this part to this part, if you measure that, we are talking about nearly 92 kilometers. Maybe 100 kilometers or something like that. It's a fairly large one. Okay, so this is a goat, and here is another snake head, which again somebody else posted, but is incredibly well shaped. Do you see that? So this is C, and you can see the head of the snake. Is just too good. You can see the eye over here, and all the scales, even the skin scales are intact. Okay, so I don't know what kind of snake this is. Is it some kind of a dragon-like snake or something else? I have no idea. But you can see that there is some kind of substance coming out from its mouth. Okay, so this is the lower jaw of the snake or dragon, whatever you call it, right? It keeps on going. You can see the scale structures. It's really not possible to pretend that this is not a snake-like or dragon-like creatures, petrified remains, because you can see the outer skin, everything everything matches. You can see the nose. This is the nose hole. Okay, so this is likely to be another nose hole, and tip. Perfect, right? This is too good. And you can see that this body keeps on going, and this may be again another snake of similar nature. See, one thing is that we cannot expect everything to be perfect, to be served on a platter, right? You cannot say, okay, this is a skin, this is a snake. I should be able to see the entire snake, and then I should be able to see everything, and then only I will think that this is a snake. That is not going to happen because we are entirely on uncharted waters. So if we find a pattern like this, we should be pretty good. I mean, the very existence of this pattern is the main thing. They should not be existing at all, but they do. That is the big thing. And as you can see, this snake is a maybe large one. I think it keeps on going. Maybe merges with some other structure. I think probably it is ending somewhere here. So here you can see the mud flow and other things that has come over this pattern. Okay, so that is another petrified snake, and there is another. This cassowary is amazing discovery I made. This is an island. Okay, this is a out of some very remote island. It doesn't even have a name. I can't find the name also. This is really a remote place, and you can clearly see that it looks like a bird. This is the eye of the bird. This is the beak of the bird, and lower jaw is all the thing is gone, and it had some structure on the head, something like this, and this is the body of the bird, and here that the same kind of feather structure continues over here. This is the body, lower body, I think, and this, I don't know how this got formed. Okay, so you can see the feather structures over here. So again, this is very difficult to argue that this is not a valid pattern. It is absolutely a valid pattern because it's very distinct from the surrounding things. Okay, and very similarly, you can see this one. This looks like a petrified eel kind of a thing. I am not able to figure out what this being is. Okay, so I'm not sure what it is, and also data is not there. Okay, now this forest cover is covering everything up. See, now it has covered up. Whatever pattern we saw, the pattern is gone in the latest one. So you have to go back in time. So this is what I was doing. So I was just looking around and I was going back in time, and then suddenly these patterns emerge, right? If you really go back all the way back up, and then here you go. There it appears. And here again, there is some kind of a face. I don't know how reliable it is. This is kind of mouth. This is the nose, long nose, and there are two eyes. I don't know whether it is how reliable it is. So I did not mention that. And this is definitely some kind of a eel kind of a structure, and this is definitely a bird, like very much like a cassowary kind of a bird. Okay, so now let's move on. Where were we? Yeah, the petrified snake we saw, cassowary bird we saw, and then lion, right? This is another really cool one. Again, I got it from a group, Facebook group. Somebody else found this. It's really amazing stuff. Okay, let me go to the correct timeline. Yeah, so here you can see that if I rotate this like this, and if I go, you can see that the face is very much like a lion's face. Okay, so you can see the eye, and then you can see the nose, you can see the mouth, you can see the hairline structures around. This definitely looks like a lion's face, and this is the body of the lion. This may be its hands, I think, paw, front paw, I think it is detached probably. And you can see the genitals, and you can see both legs over here. Okay, it's amazing. That is a really cool discovery he has made. But as time progressed, right, these patterns kept changing, and Google have this habit of hiding things under clouds. Wherever these patterns are there, over time it will start hiding things with clouds. See, this now clouds have covered all this. You can't see anything. See, even as you go up, it will tile the data with the different things. So it makes difficult. It makes finding these kind of patterns difficult. But the good thing is, it's very difficult to kind of completely hide it. Okay, so there are too many. I mean, the entire landscape is formed like that. So it is, I mean, we are lucky in that sense. Okay, so let's go and look at this another pattern. It's a small face, but really uh, difficult to looking face. I hope you can see. See, this is the eye. This is one eye, and let me turn this off. And this is another eye. Okay, so this is another eye. This is the center part, the nose part, and this is the mouth. Okay, so this is the mouth part. This is one eye, and this is the other eye, and this is the nose. Okay, this I'm not sure how visible it is, but clearly I think the pattern is very much there. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation and see where we are. So we saw the goat, we saw the snake, cassowary bird we saw, the griffin we saw. It's about 2 kilometers long. So from here to here it's about 2 kilometers long. And this face is 200 kilometers across. Okay, this is the face we saw just now. And here is a large fish. This fish is about 1500 kilometers long. This is in Sakha Republic. Okay, so you can see that the fish's body is something like this. It goes something like this. So let's go to Google Earth again. Okay, so this is that fish I was showing you. You can see this is the head portion of it. This is the eye. Okay, so this is the eye. It's very difficult to mistake this as an eye, right? It is really the inner part and that outer part, everything is matching an eye. And also there is a, what do you say, brow over it. So that's difficult to miss that. And this entire body is like this. It comes and then the tail is formed like this. Okay, so here is the tail. So there is another body which got overlapped with this. So I think this portion got kind of messed up. But here you can see it's really well formed actually. So if I go back and then I show you, yeah, this is the large fish. So this is the body of it. Okay, so just the outline I have put, and this is the eye of it. Okay, so you should you can go ahead and explore it. Everything that is coordinates available, you can go look at up yourself. So the next one is about 2,300 kilometers long. It is in the same place. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so and then let us rotate this. Yeah. Now you can see that, okay, this is the fish we saw earlier, right? This is the fish we saw earlier. And look at this one. So this is a head again. There is an eye. So these eyes are, I mean, pretty well formed. You can see the outer circle, you can see the inner small circle and the brow structure around it. So that is there. And you can see that something has come out of its mouth. Okay, so this is the mouth part of it. And something has come out. And this is Lake Baikal. This is largest freshwater lake in the world. And you can see that this structure is continuing like this. Okay, so you can see that. Let's see the latest data on that. Yeah, this is slightly better, I think. Or let's go back in time. No, this is not so clear. Here also it is there, but difficult to identify. It will take a long time to load. But anyway, so you get the idea. So this continues like this. It comes out like this and then it has a tail here also. I'm not sure whether this continues into this being or it ends like this. I'm not really sure. But there seems to be two of them. This one and this one. For all I know, this may actually be another dragon like a big body which is buried in this water. I have no idea. But this head portion and this neck portion, they are unmistakable. They are very much there. Okay, so let's look at the big eye. Okay, so this one I call it as the valley of eyes. Okay, because the eye structures are incredibly amazingly good. Okay, so let me take this off. This is the place. Do you see the eye in anywhere over here? Unlikely that you will notice, but this is the eye. Okay, so let me zoom into this. So this is the eye structure. Okay, so this is the inner part of the eye, and this is the entire eye, and this is the inner side of the eye. I mean, this is essentially a right eye. Okay, this is a right eye, and then this is the end towards the ear. Okay, and if you go, where is the other eye? If you look for, the other eye is here. It's it is all totally mangled up. It's kind of closed. Okay, so let me see if I change this one. So where even if I change the date, the pattern remains the same. So that gives us a clue that it's a real pattern. It is not because of the overgrowth or anything. I mean, this amazing eye structure. So let me enhance the color of that, so you can see. This is like 28 kilometers long. Okay, this side is 28 kilometers. This is 13 kilometers. And if I put it in GIMP and then enhance it like this, you can see it, you can clearly see the eye shape. It's very difficult to miss. Okay, so let's go back. So this is the eye. This is likely to be the other eye, and this is going to be the nostril holes. Okay, so here are some nostril holes, and there are so many other things that got over it. So it's very difficult to figure out what is what. But you can find the basic patterns from, because of this eye. This eye is so clear. We have to trace with the help of that. So you can see the nostril holes over here. Okay, so I think these are all the nostril holes, and the mouth is over here. It's a long mouth. Okay, this much it got like flattened out. So you have two eyes, one, two, some nose structure over here, and then the mouth is spread out like this. And here is the neck portion of it, long neck. So I don't know what kind of a being it is. It looks very much like a mammal, right? A human being, like a horse, like maybe. I'm not sure, but I am not sure about why the mouth is so big, or the mouth is completely mangled beyond recognition. I'm not really sure. So that is what I have indicated here. So this much pattern is there in this one. Okay, so this is again a very large face. Like this is 28 kilometers. The whole face may be like hundreds of kilometers, more than 100 kilometer across, and this side. Huge being. Okay, so let's look at this incredible thing. This is a dragonfly again in Australia. It is 100 kilometers long, and I'm sure you will appreciate this one very much. Again, this is my discovery. Okay, so let me turn this off. Okay, so let's focus on this. Okay, this is this looks like a dragonfly to me. Okay, so you can see usually the dragonfly's body has this kind of compartments on the outer side, right? It's exactly that pattern, and you can see that the tail has become mangled again. It's the tail goes all the way up to this, I think. Yeah, up to this again. There is some kind of a soup over here, and also you can see the streams coming out. The content of this being, it is streaming out of that place. So this is an excellent mark. You can see something has come out of its inside. This maybe it's intestine or something. I don't know whether it has an intestine, but whatever it had, it has come out like this outside, and it is hanging out. And this is the face part of it, and the even all the four wings are there. Okay, so you can see that this is one wing. It goes around like that. Okay, so this is one wing, as I was saying, around that, and this is the second wing around this, like this. Okay, this is the second wing, and the third wing goes up like this, all the way around, like that. It goes behind that. I think these two wings, this wing and this wing, are facing on the side which is facing us, and then the other one, the bigger one, is facing on the other side. It is on the other side. You can see this wing and even this wing, right? I think they are all on the other side. So amazing pattern. Okay, so even if you argue that this is not a dragonfly, but this is some kind of a insect with wings, that much is for sure. But I kind of tend to think that this is a perfectly uh, preserved dragonfly, and it's 100 kilometers long. Okay, so this dragonfly is 100 kilometers long. So I did not enhance anything on this because this is already very good. Okay, so there are two fishes I wanted to show. Next one, you can see Laptop C. Okay, so here are two fishes. Let me switch this off. So this is one fish. Okay, so you can clearly see the body of it and the tail also. This tail looks pretty big, or because it is mangled and flattened out like this, I don't know. But this fish is fairly clear. Okay, so you can see this is the body of the fish, the tail, and its upper side of things. This is likely to be its eye, I think, small one. I'm not sure. And as usual, you can see the lot of material that has come out of this fish. Okay, so as if somebody stamped on this fish, right? You can see the content all spilled out. It's all, it has come out like this from the body. You can, this entire area is covered with that. So this is one fish, and similarly there is one more fish over here. You can see this is the eye. This is some kind of a bottlenose dolphin or something, I'm not sure. This is a fat belly, and this is a tail, again mangled. I think this tail is twisted, curled like this, and then mangled up over here. So if you look at the fishes, they look like that, and I just drew the diagrams around that. So you can see this is the first fish and this is the second fish. Okay, so that is other one, and there is a prawn. Yes, again, it's a really good one. This prawn is about 128 kilometers long. So this is that prawn. Let's go there in Google Earth. This is also in Australia. Yeah, it's a very cool looking prawn kind of being, right? So I think this is the face. I think this part is the face. You can see the compartmentalized banded structure, and it ends something like this. And I don't know whether there is two of them. This may be one and this may be the other one. I'm not really sure. I think this may be the third one, or its leg is this. Again, another leg is this. I don't know. But this is some kind of a being. Okay, so that looks like a slug or shrimp. Okay, so that's a very cool looking thing. So your guess may be as good as mine, but the pattern is very distinct. That is the point. Yeah, so that is how I have marked it. As usual, whatever this one looks like it got spilled, as if somebody squashed it. So it came out, content came out like this, and then even the small ones, right? It might have come out like this, and some kind of spillage has come out like this. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The other one is also a huge goat. This is an amazing size goat. Okay, so let me turn off all these things. so it's very easy to see. Okay, so here you can see that this is the mouth portion of it. Okay, so you can see the mouth over here is slightly open. You can see this is the mouth portion, and this is the beard of the goat. Okay, so this entire portion is the beard, and if you go up, this is its eye. Okay, so if you go up further, this is its horn, one horn, and the other horn is this, I think, is over here. So if I go out a little bit, you can see a better picture. So this is the eye, and this is the first horn. This is the second horn, and this may be its ear, maybe mangled up again. And this is its head, comes all the way. It has like a sharp beak-like mouth, I think. And this is the mouth. Nice little mouth it has. And then this seems to be hair. Okay, so this portion seems to be its hair structure. So again, this is a pretty cool pattern, and the body is also there. This is the neck of it, and you can see this is the body of it. Okay, so this comes like this, and it goes away. So these are all mangled up. So this much, its face is fairly clear. Is this pareidolia? If you ask, then very unlikely, because there are too many features which are coming and fitting together nicely. So you can see the horn-like structures, two of them, and then you can see the eye, and in proportion to the location of the eye, you also have your mouth, and you have a beard, and your neck also, neck portion also, and your body. You can see the pattern continues like this, like your body. So all of this coming together and saying, okay, that is all just pareidolia, that is difficult to accept. Okay, so let us look at it. Yeah, if this I have put it up like this, so you can see it is a goat like. You can see the beard and the mouth, eyes, and whatever that came out on the head, right, like this. It is so uncannily similar. So this may be a giant goat. Okay, so that is how the structure looks like, the outline. Okay, so I just color enhanced it. Here this may help us find portions of the body and part, so which is in line with it. So the mouth is here, there is color variations in the neck and the head and this portion and this body, right? It looks somewhat clarified in this. Okay, so I missed one, fish. Okay, so here is the fish. Is somewhere above Italy. I think this is also pretty clear pattern. So let's see whether we can find that. I missed putting the marker for that. Let's go and visit that. Where are we? Yeah, the fish is over here. Let's straighten this up. Yeah, you can see this is the fish. I think this is the mouth, this eye. Okay, this is the body of the fish. This may be the tail. This definitely looks like a fish kind of a creature over here. So it has a clear, distinct pattern. Okay, so that's what I have marked. This is not another fish. This is part of a much larger pattern. So I will show that later. Okay, so this is this one, and this is Lady California. So this lady is about 4,300 kilometers tall. This is an incredible stuff. So this is the face of that lady. Okay, so this is the mouth. Okay, and this is the nose portion of it, and this is one eye which is half closed. Okay, this is brow, and this is the other eye, much damaged. This is clearly a face. Do you see that? I hope you are able to see this, right? This is clearly a face. Now let's go there in Google Earth. This is so uncanny. I thought Google must be cheating, but it is real. Yeah, so this is the pattern without any color enhancements, right? So you can see that the pattern is very stable over time. So this is really a feature of the land. It is not something, what do you say, even if you go back in time, the features are very much there. In fact, as you go back, it becomes better and better. It looks more sharper. Okay, my internet connection is not so good, so it may take time to load. Um, so let's come back to the latest data anyway. You can see clearly that this is the mouth and this is the nose port of, you can see the nose holes too, and eyes, and there are two eyes over here. And not only that, her entire body is there. See, this is one breast. Okay, so this is the other breast portion of it, but this is all flattened out. But here you can see the breast-like structure, and this is the collarbone. Okay, so this is the collarbone, and this is her hair. Above you can see the hair. So if I zoom out, the hair goes all the way up to this point. I think up to this. I think the hair goes very long hair, I guess. And not only that, so her body is also long. See, this is the neck is like very small neck, collarbone, her breast, and one hand is folded up like this. Okay, so the one hand is folded up like that. Other hand, I don't know where it went. Maybe inside the earth, I'm not sure. But this is her body, and her intestine has come out. So whatever this thing is, that has come out of this body. And let me straighten this up so we can see. Yeah, this is her entire structure. So this is the face to one side. All the way, these are the breasts, and this is the stomach portion of it. Something has come out. I think this is very likely her intestine or something long. So you can see the structure of it also. It looks very much like a intestine. If you take out the intestine, it may petrify like this. It's really neat and very long as well. Some people may say this is looks like a poop also. I don't know, maybe, but it is too unbroken for poop. Okay, so this is such a long pattern and it is unbroken. So that's why I think this is actually an intestine kind of a structure, and this is all her body. And I think all these things are like worms kind of things. Okay, so these are all worms which are coming and eating. There are a lot of worms you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are a bunch of them over here. They are coming and eating. There are two more things which are actually over here which are eating. We will come and see that in more detail. But here I wanted to show this lady's entire structure. This is her thigh, and this is her knee. Okay, this is her knee part of it. The pattern is amazing. You cannot say this pareidolia because everything is fitting in with the correct proportions. And this is her leg. And guess what? You can see even the foot. Okay, this is the big toe, and it is broken. I think a little bit. The last end is broken, and it is over here. You can see the fingers also. Okay, this is the backside of the foot. This is the foot. I don't know what is here, but this is clearly her foot. You can even see the nail portion of it. I think this is nail. and these are two fingers. I don't know what happened to the other fingers, but it's amazing that we are able to see these fingers themselves, right? See, she is clearly having the leg and other things. So this is what I call as the Lady of California, the California Lady. So amazing, and she's really long, 4,300 kilometers tall. Imagine some kind of a lady she is. Again, color enhanced. Hopefully, this will look better, easy to see. And this is the, I just measured it like that, and it is showing 4,241 kilometers, right, from here to here. So if she stands up, it's very likely to be like 5,000 kilometers easily. Okay, so here, if you look at this portion, right, where something is coming and eating, nibbling at her body, there are two distinct patterns I could find, right? One is this thing, it has two eyes, one eye and the second eye, and this is the mouth of it. And it has some kind of antenna or ear. So there are two things, right? This is an antenna, this is again an antenna or ear. I don't know whether this is the face of a prawn or face of a rabbit kind of a being. I have no idea. I would assume this is like a water character, because other things look like water. So here is the color enhanced version of it. You can see the eyes very clearly, and even this mouth very clearly, and you can see the horn like structure. There is a long horn, not a horn, it's a feeler, right? What you can see in a cockroach, or you can see on a prawn even, right? It is like that. The feelers. Here is other feeler. It is again curved over here. It's a hanging. It's an amazing thing. It literally stares at you. Right out of the screen, it stares at you. So it is long dead. And here is another one. It is again like a prawn. Okay, so you can see that the tail looks like a prawn, king-like prawn, right? King prawn, I don't know what they call. You can see this is exactly like that tail. I missed picking up a photo of that, but you can see that is right. This is the eye. I think this is the eye. This is the mouth of the prawn, and this is the body of the prawn. So whatever came out of this lady's stomach, I think they are eating this thing up. I don't know. That is a theory I am forming, but clearly these are all beings, huge, huge things. Quite amazing, right? Okay, so this we saw, and then oh, this is amazing. So there are two lizard-like creatures which are like 1,500 kilometers. Just the face alone, the face alone. So let me rather than okay, we'll come back to this one. Let us actually go and see it in Google Maps. I hope I am able to find it easily. Yeah, found it. These are so big that there is no marker needed. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You can see that this is the eye. Okay, so this is the mouth of it, and this is the lower jaw, and this is the upper part of the body. And you see these round things. You see this round spot. This spot is there in all the lizards, especially the garden lizards that we can see in our gardens. They have this spot, and this is one huge one. Okay, massive size. And here is another one. The same. This is the eye part, eye portion of it. This is the mouth part. Rest of the things are a little bit mangled. And this fellow has his hand also out. I think this is his hand. This is his body. Both of them are coming out of the ground. I think they are just coming out from the ground. So let us do one color enhancement on this so that you can see what I am talking about. Yeah, so here is the color enhanced this one. I just adjusted the color levels. That's all. I did not actually change anything. You can clearly see this feature, right? And the eyes are clearly visible, and so is the mouth and the body of this, and so is this character. Huge. So this is India, by the way. Okay, so these are larger than India. Of course, India is on the side, so you may not see the full size. But if you map the areas, I think these will be larger than India. And if you look at it, this is how the garden lizard. So this is the spot I was talking about. Okay, the round one. It definitely looks like that. And different varieties of lizards have different sizes and shape of this round thing. So you can say, I don't know whether this one is this one kind of thing or this one kind of thing. Maybe one of these, I don't know. This may be the smaller, this may be this part, I don't know. This may be this part, I'm not sure. But clearly the whole patterns are there. All the whole thing is there. This is very difficult to deny again. Okay, so let us look at a real dinosaur. Okay, this is an incredible discovery I saw. Yeah, this is what I have found myself. I don't know whether other people have discovered. So some of these patterns other people have discovered. For example, this pattern we saw, right? These are many people have discovered all these patterns, but I don't think anyone has discovered these lizards yet. But I'm sure over time they will discover. Let us go to another a real dinosaur. Okay, so if you this is the Arabian Peninsula. Let us go to Google Earth and go to this dinosaur stuff. Okay, I have to rotate this. Yeah, so here this is quite amazing. You can see this is the eye of the dinosaur. This is its nostril, and this is its chin, and this is its mouth. It curves like this and comes like this. Okay, you can see that this mouth is closed. You can see the pattern. The teeth is there. All the teeth are there. It comes all the way over here up to this point. Okay, uh, quite amazing thing. So you can see the neck is curving like this. I don't know. Maybe the body is inside the water. I think this is also coming out from the ground through the ground, maybe trying to come out. Okay, so let's color enhance it so that you can see the pattern. Yeah, so here you can see the color enhanced version. You can see that this is the eye. You can see the teeth line all the way over here. Okay, you can see several teeth and the gaps in between, and the lower jaw and the upper jaw, nostril, and the upper line of the neck. Amazing stuff. It looks as if somebody is a very giant being just carelessly tried to rub it away, right? I think this one is a front leg, front paw, or whatever you call, right? Front leg or front hand, which is probably very small, and it got rubbed, I think. So this is again somewhat rubbed out. I think it is quite an incredible discovery. Okay, so yeah, this is how that dinosaur model looks like in our famous movie Jurassic Park. Uh, Maybe those people who took the movie, they must have known about this, because in reality, the dinosaurs never existed. Okay, but still they cooked up the whole story that there were dinosaurs. There were no dinosaurs like the way they were talking about. But this one is real. This is right there in our landscape. No denying that. But we are calling it as dinosaur. I don't know what kind of being this is. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, this is without any change. This is how it looks like. Now let us go and look at another pattern. Okay, so and I want to show a bird head which is about 250 kilometers. The head size alone is about 250 kilometers. So here is the bird. Okay, so this is the eye of the bird, and this is the brain. The brain is still there. In the pattern is exactly like a bird's brain. This is in proportion to its head, right? The brain size is perfect. This is how big the brain size is, even in regular birds. Where exactly is the bird? So let's go to Google Earth and let's go to Gujarat, because the whole bird head is actually Gujarat. Okay, so this is the head I am talking about. This is the brain. This is the eye. You know what is this eye part? Last presentation we saw that there is a place called Girnar, and we saw a giant um, head over there, and this eye is actually Girnar. Okay, the Girnar temple is there in this area. You can probably see the temple also. I think it is somewhere over here. But the point is, this is the big eye. Okay, and this is the inner size of it, inner portion of it. There's no mistake of any of this. This is a perfect bird head, and the this is the rest of the India. I think this bird's wing is India. Okay, so I think it is very likely the wing has formed India. I think this is the other wing. Okay, so this bird is a massive bird. Maybe the body is this big, and then this is probably the other wing. I can show you some more evidence of that. So you can see feathers will be there all over, right? I saw so many feathers actually. Let me see if I can find. Unfortunately, I did not mark it properly. Here, okay, I have marked it. So you can see that this looks like a feather. Let it load. Yeah, so this looks like a feather. Okay, so unfortunately the data is not loading, but you can go to this place and then you can see this is a much higher resolution image. It will come. You can see that. Okay, so now let us come back to the presentation and move on. So this is the color enhanced version. You can see the eye and the brain and other features. You can check it out. And this is Australia. The entire Australia is actually one face. Okay, so let us break that down and see what I am talking about. See, this is the one eye. Okay, so you can see that this is an eye. This is the right eye of this being because of the corner of this eye like this, and there's a rounded corner on this side. So very likely this is this side, the right eye. Okay, you can see the inner eye over here and even inner eye over here, and the eye the below the sogging eye part over here. Okay, so and this is the brow part, which is harder material. I think this is probably hair which is all petrified. So this eye is unmistakable. Okay, so let's actually go there. Yeah, so here is the eye. Let me turn this off. Turn this off also. Yeah, now you can see it hopefully better. Okay, so this is an eye, entire eye. Let us see if I have a color enhanced version of it. Yeah, I hope this will give you a better idea. This again the eye is a huge eye, a single eye. So you can see the, if I zoom in, you can see the eye, actual eye. This is the big eye socket. Okay, now if I have to measure the size of this eye, let's measure this size, right? From this point, oops, from this portion to this end of it, we are talking about 460 kilometers across, and then from here to here, we are talking about 168 kilometers. So that is how big this eye alone is. So where is the other eye? Okay, so other eye is somewhere over here. Okay, so a big face. It's kind of flattened out. This all mangled again, but you can see that the eye structure is very much there. Okay, but it's really badly mangled. And not only that, you can also find the cavity, the nose cavity. This looks like a more like a human face. Let's straighten this up. Yeah. Now this looks like this is one eye over here, big one. Another eye over here. This looks like a nose bone, hollow bone structure or something like that. And this is the mouth. And there are other patterns over here. Switch this off so that we don't not disturb. So you can see this is the mouth portion of it. So I don't know whether you can find any teeth in it. I don't think so. I think these are all like human made patterns. It's all patterns are all gone. Let's see what about the latest data. Yeah, still it's not there. Okay, so this is the entire Australia. I mean most of the Australia. This is you can see there is a color differentiation. Okay, so from here, this entire face, and this is probably it's the ear. Okay, so the ear part of it, and you can see that these are all different colors. And the face here again, the face is probably ending over here. Okay, so the other part of the face has gone into the water, I think. So it extends maybe much bigger, but this is all we could see the face. Okay, so this is the entire Australia, which pretty much looks like a face to me. So you can explore this yourself. This is the other eye. This is the entire face. That's what we saw. Yeah, this is a color enhanced version of the entire face. You can see the right eye, you can see the left eye, and this is a nose bone cavity, and this is very likely its mouth portion of it. Maybe it's an open mouth. The rest of the things are gone. Only this much is there. And this is the ear portion of it. You can see some curvature, but this is too badly mangled. Alright, so here is the feather which we found, right? These are called mountain ranges, but these are actually feathers. Okay, it's amazing. This entire area is full of feathers. Let's go to Google Earth and see that. Oh, I have not marked it. Okay, fine. So I remember the place. I think it is Iran. Where is Iran? Yeah, it must be here somewhere. Yeah, this is Iran, right? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see this is wet feather. Okay, so you take the feather and wet it. This is how the hair will form together. Very thin hair. It will form like this. You can see the feather, the very thin hairs forming together like this. I would suggest you make this experiment. You take a feather, you wet it, and then it will exactly be like this. So my guess, this entire region is full of this feather. Okay, this is full of this feather. The whole thing, whole of most of the Iran is this kind of a feather structure. So my guess is this bird which is sitting around here. So let me rotate it. Actually, we should be viewing the world map upside down. Okay, if we are viewing the map upside down, we will discover so many things which are very easy to discover. I think the very idea of building the globe this way is very deceptive. Okay, so my take is like this, something like this. So one, this entire, the huge birds, one wing is this, which has formed India. The second wing has formed this portion. I think over time the wing must have detached, and most of the feathers which were like it must have detached, and some force, maybe a mud flood or something, it has put all the feathers into this area. I mean, most of the feathers into this area. These are also probably feathers. I don't know, but these look very mangled, out of shape. Maybe they have got mixed up with the rest of the other beings. There may be other being bodies and stuff, and got mangled. But I think it has spared this much. These feathers are perfectly preserved. This area had so many extremely well. Look at that. This is perfectly preserved feather structure. So many of them. In fact, all of them, right? And the one towards outer edges, they have much better structure. I mean, very minute structures is still visible. See, these are feather structures. Okay, so that is about the feathers I was talking about. And we said we will come back to Grand Canyon, right? This is Grand Canyon is actually relatively small. We are talking about 100 by 200 kilometers, and here is the small teeny mini thing, right? So this is a Grand Canyon, this small one. This entire Grand Canyon area was formed by some kind of substance oozing out of this giant prawn. You can see that this is a big prawn, and this is the other thing we saw. This maybe another prawn or rabbit or something like that. You can see the Grand Canyon is a very small thing which just leaked out of this giant prawn. Okay, so whatever came out of this body, I think they are valuable. That is why this entire area has been mined out, completely mined. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this exploration. So where are we actually living, right? If you really reflect on what we have seen so far, Earth seems to be a flat place formed by the bodies of many giants. So where is the actual soil? No, there is no soil actually. These are all body, petrified, titanic, gargantuan bodies actually, right? So that is all there is. And then for all I know, the ocean may be just urine of a much bigger giant, or some sort of a body fluid from these dead giant bodies, right? I don't know, because they are all salty. Even if the body fluid that has come out, it may be the blood, maybe, I don't know, or it may be urine also, I have no idea. Some kind of body fluid, that much I'm sure. Are we, for all I know, we may be living inside a fish tank kind of a structure, or a petri dish, a lab, inside a lab. Is the Earth inside a lab? I don't know. And then the size of living beings seems to have been reducing over time. So if you look at it, very huge size beings are underneath the structures, right? And the newer ones, which are on top of those things, they seem to be smaller in size, smaller and smaller and smaller. And now we are very, very tiny. We are nano size. We are microscopic. And by the look and feel of it, there may not be any finite size to the living beings. Just that our comprehension fails to, understand infinite size beings. But logically speaking, I don't think it doesn't look like there is any finite size to these things. So if you extend this theory backwards, initially there may be just one living being, right, on whose body this entire earth is on. Even now it may be on, right? If that is the case, then on what surface was that big living being was standing on or resting on? I have no idea. And for all I know, the being on which Earth is standing now, it may still be alive. I don't know. The scale of time and things like that may be different for it. And most of the giants that we saw, they seems to have come trying to come out of the earth, right? Either they are dead on the surface or they are off buried. Like the lizards we saw, the two lizards, the huge ones we saw, right? And then somebody seems to have stopped them, and then they took some kind of a cloth ironing box and then ironed the entire surface clean, like they put everything, they ironed all the things flat, right? That is how the whole thing looks like. So I think going by this extraordinary level and amount of patterns which we have seen, uh, the entire earth was and is alive. That is my conclusion. Is I mean, you make up your own mind about it, but I hope you have seen enough things, interesting things in this presentation for you to explore further. Okay, so that is it for now. So these are my previous presentations. You can go look at the petrified giants. The rocks were alive, to which talks about much smaller giants, which are who seem to have lived in recent times. Okay, so these are some of the YouTube and Facebook channels and pages you should go and explore. Petrified fragments of titans, mud fossil university, seeing is believing, ancient giant tree truth, Tartary tech pictures, info, science tests, all things Tartary and beyond. So these are the groups from which I got a lot of leads. Okay, so about 60% of what I have shown you today, they are my discoveries, and maybe 40% is what I picked up from these groups. Yeah, so that is it for now, and thank you very much for listening.